Randy mentioned local language. It's a big part of our thrust as well. We have we're a worldwide company. We have regions that that's a must as part of our planning for our mobile internet. That's a big part of our strategy as well, having that support. And then the last point about the strong analytics. You've got to be able to measure this stuff. The great thing about mobile is you do get a lot of information that you don't get from linear TV. You get location, you get time, you get a whole lot of great information that if it's presented properly and it's reliable, gives you a big edge in terms of your ability both to plan products as well as to monetize them. Randy showed a little history of his CBS Sports Line site. This, unwittingly, is also a little bit of a history slide. Starting off at the far left, probably our first portal, the CNN portal, has been around for 4 years now. You see kind of a historic slide there. We were also, Turner has a history of technological adaptation in mobile. We also spent a lot of time and effort creating a mobile application for the Symbian operating system for CNN International. It's the second column you see there. Clearly, it's easy to begin to believe the iPhone's been around forever, but it's only been a year that the application store has been open. So prior to that, you had to go hunt and search for likely operating systems to go use. Symbian is still the number one high-power operating system that's out there in the world, so that's why we chose it for that time frame. We have the NBA. Again, we do white label operations. The NBA, that's ours. That started a year ago as part of our relationship between the NBA and Turner. And just to the right to that, we have a site that's launching today. In fact, I think it probably launched just a few hours ago, the Adult Swim mobile website, which launched in the United States. And on the far right, I have on there an Android phone. We did the first Android video streaming application just this last May for the NBA for the playoffs that were going on. So, we're very thoroughly engaged. We've got a lot of products launching. Almost every week we have 1 or 2 products launching. This week we had one right out of the gate on Monday with Adult Swim with July Systems. And we may or may not, at the end of this week, have another application coming out. But a lot going on. And again, our aim is really to maximize our reach and get touch points with our users, generate data. We're always striving to launch on new platforms and improve on products going forward. Right now, we're very heavily in the product planning phase for the NBA. Last year, the season ended just this last June. So we're going to take about 5 minutes, take a deep breath, learn a few things, and we're right back at it, going and planning for next season. New products, improvements to the website, new applications, all kinds of things going on. So, really just take it to the next level on a constant basis. And that's one of the great things about the mobile environment is that things are constantly changing. As you saw from the presentations earlier, the products, the mobile phones themselves are getting better. The networks are becoming more capable and more pervasive. So this enables us to continue to broaden our reach on a mobile basis. And down at the bottom, I have a few points of platform issues that I'm kind of talking about and thinking about as part of my daily job. And kind of overarching that is that you want to try to consolidate your platforms if you can. And the reason for that is that the last thing you want is to have a whole smorgasbord, if you will, of analytics, because that makes it very difficult to compare your analytics. If you have a bunch of different ad serving solutions, that makes it very difficult for your ad sales team as well. So things to consider, and that's one of the jobs I have, is taking kind of what has been before a little bit of a fragmented situation and grooming it towards a more settled situation. And working on things like analytics, next generation analytics, which are optimized for mobile as opposed to being optimized for either TV or the internet and then translated over into mobile. Mobile ad technology, you saw Randy demonstrating some very cool ad technology, some very rich media. Before it was all just static banners. Well, we want to go and take that leap as well. Video. Video clearly is going to be a major driver. And one of the big hurdles to go over nowadays is transcoding video. We've got a bunch of different mobile phones out there, each with different capabilities. how do you make it so that you get an optimal video transcode to each and every phone? And so we're working on that as part of our platform as well. Personalization. I mentioned the MyBox, a tremendous tool for both as a benefit for the consumer in that they get the information they want quickly and easily. It's also a tremendous benefit to us because it drives exponentially the page growth, the number of hits, because people are drawn to it. They say, all right, this is special. They see their name. They see the information that's near and dear to their hearts. Tremendous growth in the use of the site. And we're planning on our maturing relationship with July Systems as time goes on, talking about things like single sign-on and member services, integrating that with our mobile products with the internet products as well. And certainly that's something you might want to think about as well in the event you have those multiple properties. And then, of course, mobile storefronts and e-commerce. Integrating all those things in, being able to manage the complexities of billing across various networks and providers and whatnot. So, it's all great. That's all high-level stuff, to shoot for, to aspire to. The challenges that, come across my desk and probably all across your desks on a daily basis, clearly we want to provide a quality experience, but unlike the internet, which, Rajesh was talking about the internet in 1997. One of the nice things the internet had as an advantage was that you had a homogeneous operating system and a homogeneous computing environment. Mobile, it's anything but that, right? You got about 6 major mobile operating systems that are still elbowing each other and trying to knock one another off. And certainly as a mobile provider, you can't make a bet on every one of those. You have to make some selected plays to manage your expense, to manage your risk, as well as just to, we just don't have enough people to go, do all the work on all these things. You have to make educated guesses on where your money's going to come from, learn from that, and improve. And then, of course, another challenge is finding the right partners. I mentioned as a white label company in many cases, I have a relationship with the NBA where I've got to do it right. I can't be, crashing all the time, and otherwise my value add to them is zero. In fact, it's negative value add. So we've got to make sure that if we're going to do something, we're working with partners in this wireless space that share the vision as well as have the same level of seriousness in the technology field. Do we stay up? Do we stay operating? Do they stay current and they stay ahead of the technology curve? You got to find vendors that are willing to go do that. And I can say unabashedly that July Systems has proven themselves in this regard very well in the time we've been working together. We need to manage explosive growth. Rahul mentioned his growth patterns, which are just fantastic, as you might expect from a startup, and that's absolutely terrific. We're a more mature network, but we're still having explosive growth as well, especially in the news and sports phases. I mean, it's just absolutely tremendous. It's also terrifying because you got to be prepared for that. So, you got to think about economies of scale, and you also got to think about managing what I'll call the unexpected. For example, CNN, the mobile site, typically does a fair amount of traffic with the growth rate, but you do have events that happen. One of them was on the video. Yet Barack Obama was elected president last November of the United States, and that created an internet sensation that night on election night on the mobile web that just about brought down the web. Just recently, about a month ago, Randy mentioned Michael Jackson's untimely passing. That was another event that almost brought down the web based on the immediacy of it, the timing of it. People want to access it on the go. And so you have to be able to prepare for those kinds of spikes and do it in a way that's graceful but also cost-effective as well. You can't build for a 100x spike. You can't plan for that with your own capital expense. At least I can't. And I can't imagine most media companies could either. So you need to be partnering with people that understand that and can help you manage the unexpected.